Students, good morning everyone. So plus 2 commerce, you all know that we have completed our concepts of banking. So now the very next chapter of yours, that is chapter number 6, introduction to management and its functions. So a simple and a very used meaning of management. It is an art or it is a method of getting things done through others in a better, possible, efficient manner. Management is synchronizing the different activities in an order so that your plans can be achieved with your performance standards. Before starting the concept of management, let me first introduce you with the learning objectives. First of all, to recognize the difference between traditional, team and servant management. Explain the purpose of management. Understand the evolving nature of management perspectives and strategies. Concept of management. To understand the meaning of management, definition by various management experts and thinkers. Describe management as an activity, a process, an academic discipline, as a group. Management as a science, as an art or a profession. Let us first start with the concept of what is management. So there are various key terms which you are going to learn in this chapter. Let me discuss all the key terms one by one. First of all, organization. A group of people who work together to achieve some specific purpose. Next is management. The pursuit of organizational goals efficiently and effectively by integrating the work of people through planning, organizing, leading and controlling the organization's resources. Next is efficient. To use resources wisely and cost effectively, such as people, money, raw materials, etc. Next is effective. To achieve results, to make the right decisions and to successfully carry them out so that they achieve the organizational goals. Next key term is competitive advantage. The ability of an organization to produce goods or services more effectively than competitors do, thereby outperforming them. Next we have collaborative computing, using the state-of-the-art computer software and hardware. Next we have innovation, finding ways to deliver new or better goods or services. Next I have internet, the global network of independently operating but interconnected computers linking hundreds of thousands of smaller networks around the world. Next is e-commerce, the buying and selling of goods or services over computer networks. E-business, using the internet to facilitate every aspect. Next is email, text messages and documents transmitted over a computer network. Next one, project management software, program for planning and scheduling the people, costs and resources to complete a project on time. Next is databases, computerized collections of interrelated files. Next we have telecommute, that is working from home or remote locations using a variety of information technologies. Next is video conferencing, using video and audio links along with computers to let people in different locations see, hear and talk with one another. Next key term is knowledge management. The implementing of systems and practices to increase the sharing of knowledge and information throughout the organization. Next is sustainability. Economic development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. Next we have management process. That is the 4 management functions. One is planning, organizing, leading and controlling. First of all, management function is planning. That is setting goals and deciding how to achieve them. Next we have organizing, arranging tasks, people and other resources to accomplish the work. Next is leading, motivating, directing and otherwise influencing people to work hard to achieve the organization's goals. Next is controlling. Controlling means monitoring performance, comparing it with goals and taking corrective action as needed. Next key term is top managers. Make long-term decisions about the overall direction of the organization and establish the objectives, policies and strategies for it. Next is middle managers. Implement the policies and plans of the top managers above them and supervise and coordinate the activities of the first line managers below them. Next we have first line managers. Make short-term operating decisions, directing the daily tasks of non-managerial personnel. Now who is a functional manager? One who is responsible for just one organizational activity. Next is a general manager, the person who is responsible for several organizational activities. Very important key term is interpersonal roles. Managers interact with people inside and outside their work units. Includes figurehead, leader and liaison activities. So figurehead leader is the role model and liaison activities here means idle time jobs. Next is as one performs information roles, he will act as a monitor. The manager can become a disseminator. He can become a spokesperson. Therefore, manager receive and communicate information. Next is decisional roles. Managers use information to make decisions, to solve problems or take advantage of opportunities. The 4 decision making roles are entrepreneur, disturbance handler, resource allocator and negotiator. Now the next key term, that is entrepreneurship. The process of taking risks to try to create a new enterprise. And the person who takes such risk is known as entrepreneur. That is someone who sees a new opportunity for a product or service and launches a business to try and realize it. Next is intrapreneur. Someone who works inside an existing organization who sees an opportunity for a product or service and mobilizes the organization's resources to try to realize it. Next key term is internal locus of control. That is the belief that you control your own destiny. Next is the types of skills. First one, The technical skills consist of the job specific knowledge needed to perform well in a specialized field. Then the next one, conceptual skills, the ability to think analytically, to visualize an organization as a whole and understand how the parts work together. Next we have human skills, consist of the ability to work well in cooperation with other people to get things done. Now here we will first discuss about what is management. Management is a process of planning, decision making, organizing, leading, motivation and controlling the human resources, financial, physical and information resources of an organization to reach its goals efficiently and effectively. Here are some real life examples of a successful change management. British Airways, Netflix, Lego, Domino's Pizza, a regular church, Nokia, Coca-Cola. These all are some examples of successful management. Now the definition of management. According to George R. Terry, management is a distinct process consisting of planning, organizing, actuating and controlling, utilizing in each both science and art and followed in order to accomplish predetermined objectives. Management is a multi-purpose organ that manages business and manages managers and manages workers and work. This definition of management has been given by Peter F. Drucker in his book The Practice of Management. Management is an art of knowing what is to be done and seeing that it is done in the best possible manner. This definition was given by F.W. Taylor, that is Frederick Winchell Taylor, the father of scientific management. Now, management definitions are discussed from 2 points of view. First is traditional viewpoint and other is modern viewpoint. When we discuss about traditional viewpoint, it is an art of getting things done by others. And when we discuss the concept of management from modern viewpoint, it is a prime mover of organization making it functional and productive. According to the traditional concepts, management is a process of planning, organizing, staffing, directing and controlling activities of others. But as per modern point of view, process of creating conducive and proper internal environment in the organization. Now, according to the traditional view, management means mobilizing and utilizing physical and human resources for achieving organizational goals. But according to modern viewpoint, it's a process of coping with changing external environment by relating strengths and weakness of organization with it. Now, let us first discuss about the different features of management. Management is a continuous and never-ending process. So, as long as a business survives, whether you are at your home, you are at your workplace, in any field, at every place, management is followed. It is continuously followed and it never ends. Management is an art of getting work done from people, that how well you can get your work done from others. Management is all related with the achievement of results. Management means following disciplines in various activities. Management is a group activity. It is performed in teamwork. It is not the part which is done by an individual. Management follows established principles or rules. Management is helped by the help of computers, but computers cannot replace management. Management is situational in nature. Management separate from ownership. Management is both an art as well as a science. Management is all pervasive. Pervasive is present at all levels. Management is intangible. That is, you cannot see or touch it, but you can feel the impact of management. Uses a professional approach in work. Moreover, management is also dynamic in nature. Dynamic is changeable. That is, you can change your approach as and when the time demands. Okay, let me give you a very good example. You all know that earlier mobile phones were banned, that you cannot use your mobile phones in schools, right? So, but due to the change of technology usage, due to the change in teaching patterns these days, now the use of mobile phones is must. So here management is acting accordingly. Management is dynamic in nature. Now the next one, objectives of management. We have three types of objectives of management which are fulfilled. First is organizational objectives. Second, we have social objectives. And the third one is individual objectives. First of all, we'll discuss about a quick glance of all the objectives and then in detail. First of all, the organizational objectives. There are three types of organizational objectives: survival, profit and growth. Next, we have personal objectives, that is related to employees. For example, financial, social and higher level needs. Next, we have social objectives, that is creation of benefits for the society. For example, supply of good quality products, eco-friendly methods of production, opening up schools, generating employment. So what are these all? These are social objectives which is achieved by following the concept of management. Now, let me give you some examples. A small grocery store on the corner of the road or a departmental store giant like Tesco with a service like home delivery can increase its business. Michael Dell started a small personal computer assembling company in the year 1985, providing cheap and customized computers to consumers at a price lower than branded computers like IBM or Apple at that time. GE company, that is General Electric company, started with manufacturing incandescent bulbs, but today with constant innovation is a leader in healthcare, energy and technology. Other examples like Air Deccan in India, it was the first airline in the country to offer low-cost airlines with no frills attached to the services. It relied on reduced costs and overheads caused by services like catering, baggage allowance, cabin crew, low turnaround time, fleet of small aircraft which would result in higher load factor. Such a new service gave them a competitive advantage over the regular full service airlines currently in the market and made air travel affordable. Next, other examples which show us that management is very much important, like Toyota Motor Corporation. It was the pioneer to innovate the just-in-time and Six Sigma method of production, which enabled them to reduce wastage and inventory, thus ultimately reducing costs. Apple Computers Incorporation has been in the computers business since decades, together with their ups and downs, but with the launch of Mac OS and iPod and iPhone products, Apple became a key player in the respective markets within a short period of time. There can't be a better example than 3M if innovation is being discussed. 3M produces over 55,000 products with numerous patents and trademarks registered worldwide. The company is so dedicated towards innovation that 30% sales of the company comes from product innovations in the past 3 years. Now we will discuss the organizational or economic objectives in detail. These objectives are set on the basis of goals of an organization. These objectives are set by keeping in mind the interests of various stakeholders like owners, employees, shareholders. The purpose of setting these organizational objectives is to achieve the optimum use of all available resources. Management is responsible to set and achieve such objectives. These objectives are classified as, first of all, survival. The basic objective of an organization is survival. For this, an organization must earn sufficient revenues to cover the cost. For example, if Ram is running a shop and incurring a cost of 50,000 per month, then he has to collect a minimum revenue of 50,000 to cover all his costs, otherwise his business would not survive. Next objective is profit. Mere survival is not enough for an organization. An organization needs to earn profit to face unforeseen or contingent situations. So contingent here means that may or may not happen. For example, if the revenue of the shop is more than 50,000, then Ram is earning a profit. The more the gap between the cost of production and revenue collected, the better the profit. It will help him in reducing business risks. Next objective is growth. Regular earning of profits makes it possible for an organization to expand and stay in the industry and face competition. Growth of an organization can be measured by increase in revenue, increase in the number of employees, increase in the number of products, increase in the number of branches. For example, Patanjali is growing and it is dealing in a variety of products and opening mega stores in multiple cities. So the next is social objectives. Survival of any organization, whether it is private or government, depends upon its commitment towards society. The organizations which care for society enjoy long-term growth. Some of the social objectives are using environment-friendly methods of production, producing quality products at reasonable rates, employment generation in society. Next set is of personal or individual objectives. These objectives are related to the growth of the employees working in an organization. Some of the objectives are financial needs, providing competitive salaries and perks, that is additional benefits, social needs, that is self-respect, peer recognition, respect for colleagues. Peer recognition means group work. Peer means a group of persons. Higher end needs or self-development needs. Next set is of organizational objectives. Management is accountable for establishing and attaining objectives for the company. It has to deliver a variety of objectives in all operations, contemplating the interest of all shareholders, including stakeholders, consumers, the government, and employees. The principal objective of any company must be to use material and human resources to the maximum potential benefit, that is, to meet the financial objectives of a firm. And these objectives are survival, profit, and growth. For example, using environmental friendly methods of production, generating employment opportunities, etc. The essential objectives of any industry is survival. Management must attempt to assure the continuation of the business. In order to survive, an industry must gain enough funds to meet the costs that would be incurred. Poor survival is not sufficient for an industry. Management has to make sure that the company earns profits. Profits contribute as a necessary catalyst for the sustained, successful performance of a firm. Profit is crucial for meeting the cost and uncertainties of business concern. Next, we have growth. A firm requires to add to its chances. In the long run, for this, it is necessary for the concern to develop. To prevail in business, management must utilize adequately the growth potential of a firm. Now, the personal objectives. Establishments are made up of resources which possess different backgrounds, experiences, objectives, and personalities. They all become part of the establishment to meet their several demands. These differ from economic necessities such as ambitious perks and salaries, social obligations such as equal attention, and higher level demands such as individual growth and progress. Now, social objectives. It includes the establishment of benefit for the community. As a part of the society, as a part of the community, every business, whether it's a trading or non-trading business, has a social responsibility to meet. This applies to consistently generating financial value for many components of society. This includes using environmentally beneficial technologies of production, providing job opportunities to the disadvantaged sections of the community, and furnishing primary facilities like crutches and schools to employees. Now, the last is importance of management. The success of an organization can be traced back to the way it is managed. Whether you are talking of a small to medium sized or a large establishment, management is so crucial to be overlooked. Here are some reasons why management is important to any organization. First one, helps to achieve goals and objectives. First of all, an organization set the goals of the organization. These goals must be planned for beforehand, and it is up to a good management structure to come up with proposals and plans of how to achieve them. Proper planning ensures that the organization follows a mapped course towards its vision and mission. Second point, provides a sense of focus and direction. When an organization plans its activities, it is able to have a singular focus. Failure to plan can throw an entire business into disarray because no one will understand where they are headed. A management structure that plans finds it even easier to anticipate problems and cope with them. Once an organization has planned its activities well, the other functions of management fall into place. Next one, for optimum utilization of resources. These resources include both human resources and technology. By assigning individual roles that best suits them, that is the interpersonal roles, the organization can reap the maximum from each employee. Organizing paves, that is obstacles, the path, put a hurdle in the way for specialization and the best use of talents. It helps the management to save money and other resources while minimizing losses. Next, fourth point of importance is to maintain responsibility and order. An organized workforce is always effective. They work as a team towards one common goal. When everyone knows that what they ought to do, they will be more responsible because they are doing what they know best. It is also easy to hold people accountable when you know what each one of them does. Next point of importance, that is to get the most qualified personnel for the job. Staffing, being a function of management, helps to discover skilled people to fill various positions in the organization. This results in high performance and maximum productivity. It also helps to remunerate employees fairly, which in turn translates to increased job satisfaction. This is the reason why many workplaces have thorough vetting procedures before employing people. Now the next point, the sixth one, to reduce workload and get things done. Efficient staffing ensures that work is divided among employees according to the rules they have assigned. The fact that each one of them is good at what he or she is doing means that work will be completed faster and better. Employees stay happy and motivate as there is no pressure in the workplace. Helps facilitate good communication. Motivation, the concept of management. Communication, also a concept of management. It provides you good directing, which further helps you to build a two-way channel of communication between the leadership and subordinates. Employees can express themselves, and as a result, matters arising are addressed appropriately. Communication is a crucial contributor to the performance of an organization, so it can never be ignored. Next point of importance is management helps to initiate action and keep the organization moving. Through supervision and motivation, projects are initiated and sustained. Imagine for a moment an organization without leaders. So then there would be no sense of direction and the whole establishment would just collapse. Directing establishes authority to which employees are answerable. To monitor progress and chart a way forward, it is very important to conduct audits and reviews of how the organization has been performing. That is the only way to measure progress, correct mistakes, and make improvements towards an even more successful future. An organization with strong internal control manages to sustain good results for long periods of time. Next point for importance is to hold individuals accountable. Controlling helps to identify who is doing what in an organization. It helps you to decide who to keep in your team and who is not worth it. It is this function of management that helps an organization to conduct performance appraisal, which is very crucial element in every business. So this was all about the introductory part of management. In the upcoming videos, we will discuss about the more concepts of management, the more applications of management. Read your chapter properly, read all the pages thoroughly, follow the YouTube link given here so that you can better understand the topic. Also answer the following questions. What is meant by management? Explain the features of management that do not establish it as a profession. Management provides judgment and vision. Explain. A company manufacturing laptops is facing a problem of decreasing sales in the market. You can imagine any product about which you are familiar with. What steps must each level of management take to give effect to this decision? State any 2 points to prove that the management is multi-dimensional. Thank you, class. This was all about your management. Now, in the upcoming videos, we will discuss about the applications of management, being science, art, profession, and administration also. Thank you, everyone.